The call came before sunrise, and deep down I already knew something was wrong. Mama? My son's voice didn't sound normal. I sat up so fast my blanket fell to the floor. Noah was curled into a tiny ball beside me, shaking. His skin was burning. Not warm. Burning. I pressed my palm to his forehead and my stomach dropped. Oh God. He grabbed my wrist with weak fingers. Mama, don't go to work. Those 5 words nearly broke me. I looked at the clock. 7:12 a.m. My shift started at 8. I still needed to get dressed, make breakfast, drop him with Mrs. Lena downstairs and catch the bus. I swallowed hard. Noah's lips trembled. Please. That word hit harder than the fever. I picked him up and held him against my chest. His body was hot, but he was shivering. I'm here, I whispered. I reached for my phone and called the clinic. Voicemail. Again. Nothing. My hands started shaking. Not now. Please, not now. I opened my banking app. Balance, $42.17. I stared at the screen. $42. Rent was due in 3 days. Medicine wasn't cheap. And if I missed work, no, I couldn't think like that. I couldn't fall apart before morning. Noah buried his face in my neck. I feel weird. My throat tightened. I know, baby. Don't leave me. I closed my eyes. I hated this. I hated every impossible choice. I hated that poor people didn't get emergencies. We got deadlines. I called my boss. Straight to voicemail. I texted. My son is sick. I may be a few minutes late. I'm trying. No reply. Of course. I rushed through everything. Cold water on my face. Hair tied up. Uniform on. Bag packed. Noah barely moved. That scared me more than the fever. I carried him downstairs to Mrs. Lena's apartment. She opened the door and gasped. Oh, sweetheart. He has a fever. Go. I'll watch him. I'm so sorry. She touched my arm. Stop apologizing for surviving. That almost made me cry. Almost. No time. I kissed Noah's forehead. He held onto my shirt. Art. Mama? I'll come back fast. Promise. The word stabbed straight through me. I forced a smile. I promise. He let go. Barely. I ran. The bus was late. Of course it was. I checked the time every 10 seconds. 8:01. 8:03. 8:05. No. No, no, no. I texted again. I'm on the way. 5 minutes. Still nothing. My chest felt tight. I knew what this meant. My boss hated lateness. Not disliked. Hated. Ethan Vale. Geo. Self-made millionaire. The kind of man business magazines loved. Brilliant. Disciplined. Ruthless. People said he built his empire from nothing. They said he respected hard work. What they didn't say. He had zero tolerance for weakness. And in his world, excuses and weakness looked exactly the same. The bus finally stopped. I jumped off before it fully parked. Ran across the street. Almost got hit by a car. Didn't care. I reached the company building out of breath. 8:05. 5 minutes. Just 5. I rushed inside. And stopped. Everyone was staring. Too quiet. Way too quiet. Then I saw him. Ethan. Standing near the front desk. Waiting. My blood went cold. His expensive charcoal suit looked flawless. Not a wrinkle. Not a hair out of place. Sharp jaw. Controlled posture. Cold eyes. Those eyes landed on me. I stopped moving. Good morning, he said. His voice was calm. That made it worse. I struggled to breathe. Sir, you're late. I swallowed. Yes, but my son. He raised a hand. Just slightly. I stopped talking. Not because he yelled. Because he didn't. That silence had power. Office. Now. Every employee pretended not to watch. Pretended. I walked behind him. Legs weak. Hands freezing. Phone buzzing in my bag. Probably Mrs. Lena. I wanted to look. I didn't dare. His office door closed behind me. Click. Too loud. He didn't sit. Neither did I. He faced me. Expression unreadable. How long have you worked here? I blinked. 3 years. Have you ever been late? No. Then you understand the rules. Yes, but. There it is again. My voice stopped. His jaw tightened. Every time someone is held accountable, there's a story. It's not a story. His eyes sharpened. What is it then? I inhaled. My son has a high fever. Silence. I continued. He begged me not to leave. I couldn't just walk out while he was shaking. He said nothing. Nothing. I kept going. I called the clinic. I texted you. I ran here. Still nothing. I hated that. The silence. Say something. Anything. Then he finally spoke. Do you know what happens when standards bend? I stared. He continued. Everyone wants an exception. My hands curled. This isn't about standards. No. No. My voice shook. This is about humanity. Something changed in his face. Just for a second. Then gone. Cold again. Humanity doesn't run companies. I laughed. A small broken sound. I didn't mean to, but it slipped out. His eyes narrowed. What's funny? I shook my head. Nothing. No. Say it. I looked up. Bad idea. Because anger was rising now. Hot. Sure. Alive. You really want to know? Yes. I swallowed. People like you always say discipline built your success. He said nothing. I continued. But people like me. I touched my chest. Don't get to fail. My voice cracked. We don't get sick days. We don't get emergencies. We don't get grace. Silence. My child was burning with fever. Still nothing. I was 5 minutes late. Silence. 5 seconds. 10. Then he spoke. One sentence. That sentence changed everything. Excuses don't build success. I stared. I actually thought I misheard him. What? His voice stayed calm. Too calm. You're terminated. The room tilted. No. No, no. You're firing me? Effective immediately. I stopped breathing. 3 years. 3 years of overtime. Skipped lunches. Extra shifts. Perfect reports. No complaints. Gone. Because of 5 minutes. I whispered, please? He didn't move. My son needs medicine. No response. I need this job. Nothing. I hated the way my voice sounded. Small. Desperate. Not me. Not who I wanted to be. But survival strips pride first. Please. His expression hardened. I made my decision. That did it. Something inside me went still. Not shattered. Still. Dangerously still. I wiped my face. Slowly. No more begging. I nodded once. Okay. His brows tightened. Maybe he expected tears. Maybe pleading. Instead, I bent down and picked up my bag. My phone buzzed again. I looked. Message from Mrs. Lena. Call me. No. I spread through my body. No. I turned to leave. Then stopped at the door. I don't know why I said it. Maybe because pain makes truth reckless. I looked back at him. For what it's worth. He met my eyes. I hope you never have to choose between someone you love and the thing that pays your bills. His expression shifted. Tiny. Barely visible. But I saw it. Crack. Then gone. I left. Packing took 2 minutes. Nobody spoke. Nobody knew what to say. One coworker looked guilty. Another avoided eye contact. One whispered, I'm sorry. I smiled. It didn't feel like mine. I picked up the framed photo from my desk. Me and Noah at the park. He was laughing. Sticky ice cream on his face. That laugh got me through everything. I held the frame tighter. Then I walked out. The lobby doors opened. Cold air hit my face. I kept walking. 1 step. Then another. Then my legs gave out. I collapsed onto a bench outside the building. Phone shaking in my hand. I called Mrs. Lena. She answered instantly. Where are you? What happened? It's Noah. Everything inside me froze. What happened? He passed out. The world stopped. What? Come now. We're going to the hospital. My hand went numb. The photo slipped from my fingers. Glass cracked on the sidewalk. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't move. I couldn't. Then I heard a voice behind me. Oh, Mel. Sure. Miss? I turned. Security. Holding something. An envelope. For you. I frowned. What? It's from Mr. Vale. My blood ran cold. I opened it. 1 line. Just one. Your final paycheck has been withheld pending HR clearance. I stared. Then I laughed. Not because it was funny. Because something inside me finally snapped. I looked up at the glass tower behind me. At the office where I gave 3 years of my life. At the man who destroyed everything in 5 minutes. Tears blurred my vision. But beneath the grief, something else appeared. Not weakness. Not fear. Something darker. Quieter. A promise. I whispered to myself. You'll regret this. Then I ran toward the hospital. I didn't know it yet. But that was the day he lost far more than an employee. That was the day he made the biggest mistake of his life. And one day, he would cry because of it. I thought getting fired would be the worst part of my day. I was wrong. The hospital bill was waiting for me before I even reached the entrance. I stood at the emergency desk, still wearing my work uniform, hair messy, breathing too fast. The nurse slid a paper toward me. I looked down. Medication. Test. Consultation. Total due up front. My eyes locked on the number. $387. I almost laughed. Not because it was funny. Because it felt unreal. Like life had stopped trying to hurt me carefully. Now I was using both hands. I can pay part of it. The nurse gave me the kind of smile people use when they already know the answer. I'm sorry. Hospital policy. Policy. Funny word. Everyone hid behind policy. Bosses. Hospitals. Landlords. People with power loved that word. I gripped the counter. My son passed out. I understand. No, she didn't. If she understood, she wouldn't sound that calm. I just lost my job. She paused. For half a second, something human flashed across her face. Then professionalism returned. I'm sorry. There it was again. Sorry. The cheapest word in the world. My phone buzzed. Rent reminder. Payment due in 3 days. Buzz. Electric bill. Buzz. Unknown number. Buzz. 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 I wanted to throw the phone into a wall. Instead, I squeezed it so hard my hand hurt. Mrs. Lena touched my shoulder. Sit. I can't sit. You're shaking. I said I'm fine. She gave me a look. The kind older women give when they know you're lying badly. You are many things, she said quietly. Fine isn't one of them. That did something to me. Tiny crack. Dangerous crack. I sat. And everything hit at once. The job. The hospital. The bills. No. Ethan's voice. Excuses don't build success. My jaw tightened. I hated that his voice was still in my head. I hated that part of me still wanted to scream at him. Another part wanted to understand him. Why had he looked strange at the end? There was a moment. Just one. Right after I said I hoped he never had to choose between love and money. His face changed. Barely. Like I touched something buried. Something painful. Then he shut down again. Why did that bother me? Why did I care? I shouldn't. I absolutely shouldn't. Mama? My entire body snapped toward the voice. No. He was awake. Weak. Pale. But awake. I ran to him. Oh my God. I held his face. His skin was still warm. Not as bad. Thank God. You scared me. His tiny hand touched my cheek. Why are you crying? I froze. I hadn't even noticed. I wiped my face fast. I'm not. He blinked. That's a lie. I stared. Then, against all logic, I laughed. A broken laugh. You're too smart. I know. That almost made me cry again. Almost. Mama? Yes. Did your boss yell? My throat closed. Children notice everything. Even what you hide. No. Then why do you look sad? I opened my mouth. Nothing came out. How do you explain cruelty to a child? How do you explain that being poor means one bad day can destroy everything? How do you explain adults who stop seeing other people as human? I kissed his forehead. Just tired. He studied me. Too carefully. Then whispered, Did they fire you? The room went silent. Even the monitor sounds felt far away. How do you? I heard Mrs. Lena. Of course. Children always hear the things adults think they miss. I forced calm. It's okay. No, it's not. That hit hard. Too hard. He looked angry now. Small. Fragile. Angry. I hate your boss. I smiled despite myself. You've never met him. I still hate him. I brushed hair from his forehead. Don't? Why? Because hate becomes poison. Because I knew that too well. Because if I let hatred become my fuel, I'd burn too. But the truth? I didn't fully believe my own wisdom right now. So I answered honestly. Because hating someone gives them space inside you. Noah frowned. That sounds weird. I laughed. A real laugh this time. Tiny. But real. Yeah. It does. My phone rang. Maya calling. Of course. I answered. She didn't say hello. What happened? Straight to war. Classic Maya. How do you know? Sarah from accounting texted me. Great. Office gossip already spreading. She said Vale fired you in front of everyone. I closed my eyes. Maya? No. Absolutely not. Her voice sharpened. No. I knew that tone. She was furious. He fired you? Over 5 minutes? Yes. That psychopath. Maya. No, let me talk. I moved away from Noah's bed. She said you begged. Silence. That hurt more than expected. Because now someone else knew. I swallowed. I did. Why? I laughed bitterly. Take a guess. She went quiet. Then, Noah? Yes. Her voice softened instantly. Oh. Just one word. But everything changed inside it. Understanding. Pain. Rage. All right, she said. What? We fight. I blinked. What? We sue him. I almost laughed. With what money? We find a way. No. Why no? Because I'm tired. No, you're shocked. No, Maya. I looked at Noah sleeping again. I'm empty. Silence. Then she spoke softer. That's worse. I didn't answer. She continued. Listen to me. I leaned against the wall. Eyes closed. No. You listen. Classic Maya again. When Daniel left, you survived. My fingers tightened. Don't say his name. When rent doubled, you survived. Stop. When Noah got pneumonia last year, you survived. Stop. When your father died, you survived. I stopped breathing. Then she said it. The thing I needed. The thing I didn't want. You always survive. My lips trembled. Not because I felt inspired. Because I felt seen. Completely. And that was terrifying. Maya exhaled. So cry today. Silence. Break today. Silence. But don't stay broken. My eyes burned. I don't know how to do this anymore. Yes, you do. No. Yes. No. Yes. I almost smiled. Even now we argued like sisters. She lowered her voice. Promise me something. What? Don't beg anyone again. My chest tightened. The office flashed in my head. My voice. Small. Desperate. Please. I hated that memory. Hated it. Maya spoke again. Promise. I whispered. I promise. Good. She paused. Then. And one more thing. What? Ethan Vale will regret this. My eyes opened. I stared at the floor. I should have agreed. Instead I said. No. What? I don't want revenge. She sounded stunned. What? I swallowed. I just want peace. Silence. Then Maya said quietly. That's what scares me. Why? Because women like you. She paused. When you stop fighting. Her voice dropped. You start changing. The line went silent. We ended the call. I stood there. Still. Changing. Was I? I didn't know. I only knew one thing. The old version of me had begged today. And I couldn't forgive that. That night, Noah finally slept. We returned home after the hospital allowed discharge. Viral fever. Medicine prescribed. Rest needed. I sat beside his bed in the dark. The apartment was silent. Cheap ceiling fan. Dim kitchen light. Unpaid bills on the table. Termination envelope beside them. I stared at everything. My entire life. Reduced to paper. Then something caught my eye. The photo frame from my desk. Broken glass. Me and Noah. Still smiling beneath the cracks. I picked it up carefully. A sharp edge cut my finger. Blood surfaced. I watched it. Red. Warm. Real. And suddenly, I felt nothing. No tears. No panic. No begging. Just stillness. Cold stillness. I took the termination letter. Folded it once. Twice. Then placed it under the broken frame. A reminder. Not of pain. Of consequence. I looked at my sleeping son. His breathing was steady. Peaceful. Innocent. I leaned down and kissed his forehead. Then I whispered the promise that changed everything. I will never beg for dignity again. The room stayed silent. But something inside me answered. Not softly. Not gently. Like a door locking. Like fire finding oxygen. I looked at the darkness ahead. No job. No savings. No safety. Nothing. Fine. Then I would build from nothing. Again. But next time, no one would have the power to discard me. Not a husband. Not a landlord. Not a billionaire CEO. No one. My phone buzzed one last time. Unknown email. Subject line. Regarding your father's unclaimed estate. I frowned. My father? My hand froze over the screen. I slowly opened the email. And the first sentence made my blood run cold. You may be the legal owner of assets worth several $1,000,000. I almost deleted the email. Spam. Scam. Cruel joke. That's what I assumed. I stared at the subject line again. Regarding your father's unclaimed estate. Estate. My father didn't have an estate. He had debt. Old tools. a tiny workshop, and too many dreams nobody believed in. I rubbed my eyes. Maybe exhaustion was making me hallucinate. Noah was asleep beside me, finally breathing normally. The apartment was silent except for the ceiling fan clicking every few seconds. Click, click, click. I opened the email. My pulse slowed, then sped up, then stopped. Dear Miss Carter, our firm has made repeated attempts to contact you regarding intellectual property and ownership documents left by your late father. Intellectual property? I frowned. I kept reading. These assets remain legally unresolved. Time-sensitive action is required. You have 72 hours to respond. 72 hours. I sat up. The message included a law firm number, real address, official documents attached. No obvious scam. No. This didn't make sense. My father had been dead for 7 years. Why now? Why me? I looked at the attachment. 27 pages. Legal language. Ownership transfer. Patent registration. Licensing. I understood maybe 3 words. I whispered, "What did you leave me, Dad?" No answer. Just the fan. Click, click, click. Then memory hit. Art. Not the email. Not the papers. Him. My father. Oil-stained hands. Warm smile. Always building something. Always sketching. Always saying the same thing. Efficiency changes everything, sweetheart. I used to roll my eyes. He would laugh. Then keep drawing. Boxes. Arrows. Numbers. Systems. He loved systems. Said most companies wasted money because they moved things badly. I never cared. Back then I was too busy being young. Too busy being in love. Too busy making stupid choices. Like Daniel. My jaw tightened. I hadn't said his name out loud in months. Didn't want to. But memories don't ask permission. They enter. They wreck things. Then they leave you cleaning the mess. I looked at Noah sleeping. He had Daniel's eyes. They used to hurt. Now it mostly annoyed me. Mostly. I closed the laptop. No, not yet. I wasn't ready to process millions and patents at midnight. I got up to find water. My foot hit an old cardboard box under the table. The one I never unpacked. Dad's things. I froze. Slowly. I crouched. Pulled it out. Dust everywhere. I opened it. Folders. Blueprints. Old notebooks. Receipts. Then, a silver watch. Dad's watch. I stopped breathing. I picked it up. Still scratched on the side. Still heavy. Still his. Under it was a folded note. My hand shook. Not from fear. Something quieter. Something older. I unfolded the paper. His handwriting. Messy. Familiar. My vision blurred. If you're reading this, I probably ran out of time. I stopped. No, Dad. I kept reading. You'll think these papers are useless. They aren't. One day someone will understand what I built. Maybe that person is you. My throat tightened. And if life has been cruel to you by then, remember this. Being underestimated can become an advantage. Let them dismiss you. Then surprise them. Tears slid down. Silent. Hot. No sobbing. Just tears falling onto paper. I hated how much I missed him. I hated that grief could stay quiet for years and still punch like day one. Then another memory surfaced. Not Dad. Daniel. That night. The night everything broke. I was 8 months pregnant. Feet swollen. Back aching. Exhausted. I came home carrying groceries. The apartment felt wrong. Too quiet. Then I noticed it. His closet. Half empty. I froze. No. I dropped the groceries. Milk spilled. Eggs cracked. I walked to the bedroom. Drawer open. Suitcase gone. Then my phone buzzed. Message from Daniel. Just one message. No call. No explanation. A message. I can't do this anymore. I stared. Didn't understand. Then another message. I'm leaving. I stopped breathing. Another. Don't look for me. My hand shook. I called. Voicemail. Again. Voicemail. Again. Then. Message photo. A woman. Her hand in his. A hotel room. I stared. No words. Then the final message. The one I still wished I could erase. You'll survive. You always do. I laughed. A horrible sound. Not human. Just shock breaking apart. He didn't even deny it. That was the worst part. He chose her. And expected me to endure it like weather. Later I checked the account. Savings gone. Every dollar. Gone. I sat on the floor. Pregnant. Alone. Bankrupt. Abandoned. That was the night I learned something ugly. Sometimes betrayal isn't loud. Sometimes it sounds like a text notification. Noah moved in his sleep. I returned to the present, breathing hard. I hated remembering, but maybe I needed to, because nobody at work knew any of this. They saw a tired woman. Quiet, reliable, polite, never late, never dramatic, never difficult. They didn't know why. They didn't know every dollar had a job. Every minute mattered. Every emergency was disaster. And Ethan? I laughed bitterly. He never asked. Not once. To him, I was efficient. Or replaceable. Nothing between. Though, something about him bothered me. That final look. That hesitation. It didn't fit the monster story. And I wanted him to fit the monster story. That would have been easier. Instead, there were cracks. Small ones. Like when I mentioned choosing between love and money. Why did that affect him? I hated that question. Because it made him human. And right now I preferred villains. Villains are simpler. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. I almost ignored it. Then answered. Hello? Miss Carter? Male voice. Professional. Yes. This is Andrew Bell from Bell and Associates regarding your father's estate. Real. This was real. I sat down. Okay. He paused. You received the email? Yes. Good. His tone changed. More careful now. There's something you need to understand. I stiffened. What? Your father was not merely an inventor. My grip tightened. What does that mean? Silence. Papers shuffled. Then. He developed a logistics optimization model years ahead of its time. I frowned. Meaning? Meaning multiple corporations attempted to purchase his patents. My chest tightened. What? He refused to sell. Why? Another pause. Then. He believed the offers undervalued his work. That sounded exactly like Dad. Stubborn to the end. I whispered. How much? Mr. Bell went silent. Too silent. How much? I repeated. Then he said a number. I thought I heard wrong. I'm sorry? He repeated it. Slower. Clear. I stopped moving. No. No way. That number was impossible. That wasn't life-changing money. That was reality-breaking money. I swallowed. If this is a joke. It isn't. Why contact me now? His voice lowered. Because someone recently attempted to acquire the patents. Cold moved down my spine. Someone? Who? Silence. Too long. Mr. Bell? I'm not authorized to disclose that yet. Yet. What does that mean? It means you need to come in tomorrow. Why? Because if you sign ownership transfer. He stopped. I stood. What? He exhaled. Slowly. Like he hated saying this. Miss Carter? My pulse thundered. Just say it. He did. And the room spun. The company trying to buy your father's work. Pause. 1 second. 2. 3. Is Ethan Vale's company. Everything went still. The fan stopped mattering. The bills disappeared. The room vanished. Only one thought remained. Him. My boss. The man who fired me yesterday. The same man trying to buy the one thing that might change my entire life. I whispered. No. But Mr. Bell wasn't done. There's more. My voice came out thin. What more? Silence. Then the final blow. He personally requested priority access. I stopped answering. That said everything. Because suddenly, I understood. Fate wasn't done with us. Not even close. And for the first time since being fired, hope didn't whisper. It smiled. I smiled when I saw the company name. That scared me more than anger ever could. Because I should have been furious. Instead I felt calm. Too calm. Dangerous calm. I stared at the papers spread across my kitchen table. Vale Dynamics Corporation and printed clearly on the acquisition request. His company. Ethan's company. Of course. I leaned back in my chair and laughed once. Soft. Dry. Unfamiliar. So this was fate's sense of humor. The man who fired me for being 5 minutes late was now trying to buy the one thing my father died protecting. Interesting. Very interesting. Noah slept in the next room. The apartment was dark except for the small lamp above the table. Coffee sat untouched beside me. Cold now. I didn't notice. Didn't care. My eyes moved over blueprint after blueprint. Arrows. Graphs. Mathematical models. Flow diagrams. Inventory ratios. Distribution timelines. At first it looked like nonsense. Then, patterns appeared. I frowned. Wait. I grabbed another file. Then another. Cross-checked numbers. My pulse changed. Slow. Then fast. No. No way. I opened Dad's notebook. His handwriting filled every page. Messy. Rush. Brilliant. Notes everywhere. Equations circled. Observations underlined. Some pages had coffee stains. Others had angry pen marks. Then I saw a sentence written in thick black ink. The problem isn't transport. The problem is delay cascades. I froze. Delay cascades? I kept reading. And suddenly, I understood. Not fully, but enough. Dad wasn't just tracking deliveries. He was predicting chain reactions. A delay at one point. A slowdown at another. Missed deadlines. Storage overflow. Waste. Revenue collapse. One delay becomes 10. 10 becomes disaster. My chest tightened. I whispered, "Oh my God." This wasn't a random model. This was predictive optimization. A system that could identify inefficiencies before they happened. Before losses. Before breakdown. Before collapse. I flipped pages faster. Every new file made the picture clearer. This could save companies millions. No, hundreds of millions. My hands trembled. Dad, what did you build? Why didn't anyone listen? Then I remembered. They had listened. They just didn't believe. Because genius sounds insane before it sounds obvious. I looked at the acquisition papers again. Now the urgency made sense. They didn't want old patents. They wanted this. They needed this. And then something clicked. Hard. So hard I stopped moving. I grabbed my phone. Opened business news. Search. Veil dynamics delays. Instant results. Articles. Reports. Industry rumors. Contract penalties. Shipment failures. Major client dissatisfaction. I scanned headlines. Then I saw it. The exact issue. Repeated in every article. Supply chain disruption. Distribution instability. Cascading delays. I stared. No. No way. I compared article details with Dad's notes. My breathing slowed. Cold realization. Perfect match. Every problem Ethan's company was facing, Dad had solved 7 years ago. I leaned back, stunned. Then the irony hit. Hard. So hard I actually laughed. Not bitter this time. Almost amazed. The universe had a dark sense of balance. Ethan Vale. Mr. Discipline. Mr. No Excuses. Mr. Excuses don't build success. He desperately needed something. And that something was sitting on my kitchen table. Owned by me. I whispered, "You fired the wrong woman." The words hung in the air. Heavy. Real. My phone buzzed. Maya. Of course. I answered. She didn't greet me. "Tell me you're awake." "I'm awake." "Good. Because I'm outside." I blinked. "What?" "Open the door." I stared. "Maya, it's 1 a.m. I brought food." I sighed. Then smiled despite myself. Classic Maya. I opened the door. She entered holding takeout and pure aggression. Then she saw the papers. Her eyes narrowed. "What is all this?" I pointed. "My father." She frowned. "The dead one?" I gave her a look. She rolled her eyes. "You know what I meant." I sat again. "He left patents." She froze. "Patents?" "Yes." "Like, invention patents?" "Yes." She slowly put down the food. "Okay." Silence. Then, "Why do you look like you've seen God?" I slid the acquisition file to her. She read. Stopped. Looked up. Read again. Then, "No." "Yes." "No." "Yes." She stared. "That psycho's company?" I nodded. Maya sat down slowly. "That is insane." "Correct." She read more. Then her eyes widened. "Wait. What? They're offering this much?" I nodded. She looked at me. Then at the papers. Then at me again. "You're rich." I shook my head. "Not yet." "No, like, seriously rich." "I know." She whispered. "Oh my God." Silence. Then she looked up sharply. "What are you going to do?" Good question. Very good question. What was I going to do? Sell? Take the money? Disappear? Pay rent? Secure Noah's future? Finally breathe. Tempting. Very tempting. But something bothered me. A sentence. Dad's note. I picked it up and handed it to her. She read aloud. "Don't sell brilliance cheap because powerful people finally notice." Maya stopped. Slowly looked at me. "Oh. Yeah." I folded my arms. "They're undervaluing it." "How do you know?" "Because if this solves what I think it solves." I tapped the files. "This is worth far more." She stared. Then, a slow smile appeared. Dangerous smile. The kind that meant chaos. Oh no. What? I know that face. What face? That face. She pointed. The one you get before doing something reckless. I'm not reckless. She deadpanned. You once confronted a landlord with a frying pan. He deserved it. Not the point. I almost laughed. Almost. Then my smile faded. Because another thought hit me. Ethan. Why had he requested priority access personally? CEOs don't do that unless things are bad. Really bad. I remembered his face. Cold exterior. But beneath it, fatigue. Tension. That strange hesitation. Something wasn't right. Maya interrupted my thoughts. You're thinking about him. I glared. No. Yes. No. Girl. I looked away. She sighed. Still defending him? I'm not defending him. Then what? I exhaled. Words came slower. I don't understand him. Maya blinked. That's your concern? Yes. She looked offended on my behalf. He fired you. I know. He humiliated you. I know. He withheld your final paycheck. I know. Then what is there to understand? I went quiet, because I hated the answer. But it was true. There was a moment. What moment? In his office. I stared at the files. When I said I hoped he'd never have to choose between love and money, I paused. Maya waited. He looked hurt. She stared. What? Just for a second. That means nothing. Maybe. Maybe not. I hated uncertainty, especially about him. Maya leaned closer. Listen carefully. Her tone changed. Serious now. Pain doesn't excuse cruelty. I looked at her. She continued. Whatever wound he carries. Pause. He still chose to wound you. That landed. Because it was true. Completely true. I nodded. You're right. I know. She sat back. Then smiled. So. I narrowed my eyes. So. What's the plan? I looked at the files. At Dad's notes. At the acquisition offer. At the company name. Then something settled inside me. Clear. Sure. Final. I finally knew. And once I knew, everything changed. I reached for my laptop. Opened a blank document. Maya watched. What are you doing? I started typing. Not selling. She blinked. What? I kept typing. If they need this model. Click. Clack. Click. I won't give them the solution. Click. Clack. I'll build it. Maya stopped breathing. What? I looked up. For the first time in days. I felt powerful. Not safe. Not healed. Powerful. They think I'm desperate. Silence. They think I need saving. More silence. They think I'm just the woman they fired. Maya whispered. Oh. I stood. My voice went calm. Dead calm. The dangerous kind. I won't return to Veil Dynamics as an employee. I looked at Ethan's company name one last time. Then closed the acquisition file. Slowly. Deliberately. And I smiled. Small. Cold. Certain. No. I whispered. I'll return as competition. Maya stared at me. Speechless. I looked toward Noah's room. Toward my son. Toward the future. Toward war. Then I said the line that changed everything. I'm not going back to ask for my job. I shut the laptop. The sound echoed. Sure. Final. I'm going back to take his empire. I pressed send before I could stop myself. Application submitted. Business registration request. Company name. Cascade Logic Systems. I stared at the screen. Then at my shaking finger. Then back at the screen. That was it. No dramatic music. No applause. Just me. In old pajamas. At 2:13 a.m. Starting a company from a kitchen table. Insane. Absolutely insane. My phone buzzed. Maya. Of course. Maya, did you do it? I typed back. Me, yes. 3 dots appeared. Disappeared. Returned. Then. Maya, oh no. I blinked. Me, oh no? Maya, that means you're serious. I stared at the message. Then smiled. Tiny. Cold. Yeah. I was serious. The next 3 months disappeared. No social media. No office gossip. No checking former coworkers' posts. No stalking Ethan's company news every night. Okay. That last one was a lie. Sometimes I checked. Only for research. That's what I told myself. Research. Not obsession. Definitely not obsession. I built routines. Morning, Noah. School. Breakfast. Medicine. Laundry. Work. Then learning. Business law. Licensing. negotiation, contract structure, investor psychology, presentation design, supply chain economics. The internet became my university, and sleep became optional. At night, after Noah slept, I studied until my vision blurred. Sometimes 1 a.m., sometimes 3, sometimes sunrise. My laptop overheated twice. I nearly did too. There were days my brain simply stopped. I'd stare at spreadsheets and understand nothing. Then Noah would walk in. Mama? Yes. You're scary. I blinked. What? You haven't blinked in forever. I laughed. Go brush your teeth. He squinted. Are you becoming a robot? Possibly. He gasped. Can robots make pancakes? Yes. He relaxed. Okay, then it's fine. Kids are weird. Thank God for that. Money vanished fast. Too fast. Legal filing fees. Software. Courses. Consulting calls. Everything cost something. I sold jewelry first. My bracelet. Then earrings. Then the wedding ring. I stared at it in my palm for a long time. Gold. Simple band. Cheap honestly. But heavy. Not physically. Emotionally. Daniel's ring. The symbol of promises. Lies shaped into metal. I drove to the pawn shop. The man behind the counter inspected it. Want to sell? I looked at the ring. Memory flashed. Wedding vows. Smiles. Kisses. Forever. Funny word. Forever. I smiled. Yeah. He named a price. I almost laughed. That's what betrayal was worth. Not much. I handed it over. No hesitation. No tears. Just release. Walking out felt strange. Lighter. Not healed. But lighter. Some ghosts lose power when you stop preserving them. Rejection came next. In bulk. Investor number 1 interrupted my presentation after 4 minutes. He raised a hand. That's enough. I stopped. He leaned back. No offense. Bad start. But you don't look like a founder. I stared. What does a founder look like? He smiled. Arrogant. Mel. Expensive watch. You know what I mean. I did. Single mother. No elite degree. No connections. No pedigree. He dismissed me in one glance. I packed my laptop. Calmly. He frowned. That's it. Yes. You're not going to argue? I stood. No. He looked surprised. Why not? I picked up my bag. Because your mind was made up before I entered. Silence. Then I smiled. Small. Sure. And I don't audition for people who already decided I'm small. I walked out. His assistant tried not to smile. I noticed. Investor number 2 didn't even reject me personally. Assistant email. 3 lines. We are unable to proceed at this time. Cold. Efficient. Forgettable. Investor number 3 listened. Nodded. Asked questions. Hope rose. Then. Who built the original model? My father. Dead? I stiffened. Yes. He folded his hands. Then the brilliance may have died with him. I stopped moving. He continued. I invest in execution, not inheritance. I shut my laptop. Slowly. My voice came out flat. Then you're blind. His brows lifted. I left. Hands shaking. Not from sadness. Anger. Clean anger. Useful anger. Every rejection sharpened something. At first I wanted approval. Then I wanted opportunity. Eventually, I stopped needing either. That scared me. Because somewhere along the way, I changed. The woman who begged Ethan for mercy? Gone. Not dead. Just gone. Sometimes I missed her softness. Most days I didn't. One night, Maya found me asleep at the table. Laptop open. Files everywhere. She woke me. You need sleep. I need capital. You look unwell. I look focused. You look haunted. I rubbed my eyes. What time is it? 11 p.m. I sat up fast. Noah. Asleep. I exhaled. Maya studied me. Too carefully. You're disappearing. I frowned. I'm here. No. She shook her head. Physically? Sure. She touched my shoulder. But emotionally? Pause. You're somewhere far away. I didn't answer. That said enough. She sighed. I miss you. That landed harder than expected. Because I missed me too. The old me. The easier me. The one who laughed without calculation. The one who trusted. But trust had become expensive. And I couldn't afford expensive mistakes. Maya whispered. Just don't become ice. Too late. I almost said it. But didn't. Month 5. One final investor meeting. Maya forced me to go. Last one. I almost refused. What's the point? The point is you're not quitting. I stared. I'm tired. She crossed her arms. I don't care. Maya. No. She pointed toward the door. One more. I hated when she was right. Which was often. Too often. Fine. One more. The office surprised me. No giant ego decor. No fake luxury. Minimal. Elegant. Quiet. Interesting. Receptionist smiled. Miss Carter? Yes. She'll see you now. I blinked. Not he. Unexpected. I entered. And stopped. Woman. Mid-40s maybe. Sharp suit. Silver earrings. Calm posture. Eyes like lasers. She didn't stand. Didn't smile. Just studied me. Like she could see through noise. Sit. I sat. She opened my file. Silence. 30 seconds. 1 minute. No small talk. No fake warmth. Finally. You've been rejected 12 times. I blinked. 13. She looked up. And for the first time, a tiny smile. Good. I frowned. Good? Yes. Why? She closed the file. Because you corrected me. I said nothing. She leaned forward. Most people needing money become agreeable. Pause. They shrink. Pause. You didn't. My pulse shifted. Who was this woman? She asked. Why are you here? I answered automatically. I need funding. She shook her head. No. I frowned. No. No. She held my gaze. Why are you really here? Silence. Long silence. Then something strange happened. I stopped pitching. Stopped performing. And answered honestly. Because someone powerful decided I was disposable. Her expression didn't change. I continued. And I need to prove he was wrong. Still silent. I exhaled. No. I corrected myself. Not prove. She waited. I looked straight at her. I need to become someone nobody can dismiss again. Silence. 5 seconds. 10. Then. She smiled. Real smile. Small. Dangerous. There you are. My breath caught. What? The founder. She stood. Walked to the window. Hands behind her back. Then said, Do you know why men with power keep winning? I stayed quiet. She answered herself. Because nobody taught women to take space. She turned. Those sharp eyes locked onto mine. Then she said the sentence that changed everything. Slowly. Clearly. Like law. Power begins when you stop asking for permission. My chest went still. No words. No movement. Just impact. She walked back. Extended her hand. My name is Elena Park. I looked at her hand. Then at her. And? That tiny smile returned. I invest in dangerous women. Pause. You qualify. I stopped breathing. What? She slid a contract toward me. I looked down. The number made my vision blur. No. No way. I looked up. Why? Elena's answer came instantly. Because you're not trying to sell an idea anymore. She tapped the contract. You're building a weapon. Silence. Then. And I want front row seats. I stared at the contract. At the number. At the future opening in front of me. Then my phone buzzed. Unknown message. I glanced at it. And froze. One sentence. No name needed. I knew exactly who sent it. We need to talk. Ethan Vale. For the first time he looked afraid of losing control. And I wasn't even in the room. I stared at the business news clip on my laptop. Muted. No sound. Didn't need it. The headline said enough. Vale Dynamics faces major operational failure. Below it, Ethan. Suit perfect. Jaw tight. Eyes exhausted. He stood at a press conference answering questions. We're trying to. Reporters kept firing. Is it true you've lost 3 major contracts? What caused the supply chain collapse? Are investors pulling out? Can Vale recover? He gave controlled answers. Short. Measured. Professional. But I noticed something others probably missed. His right hand. Clenched. Too tight. Knuckles white. I leaned closer. Interesting. Mr. No emotion was cracking. Just slightly. But enough. I paused the video. His face froze on screen. Tired. Sure. Human. I hated that last word. Human. Because monsters are easier to fight. Humans complicate revenge. My phone buzzed. Maya. Maya, please tell me you're watching this disaster. I typed. Me, maybe. 3 dots. Then. Maya, You're enjoying this, aren't you? I stared at the message. Was I? I looked back at Ethan's frozen face, then answered honestly. Me, less than I expected. Pause. Then her reply. Maya, that's annoying of you. I almost smiled. Almost. Karma, I learned, wasn't dramatic. It didn't kick down doors. It didn't scream. It moved quietly, patiently, like water finding cracks. One day nothing. Next day everything shifts. That's what happened with Cascade Logic. At first nobody cared. Small startup. Unknown founder. No flashy PR. No billion-dollar launch. Just me. Elena. Tiny team. And a prototype. Our first client was a regional shipping company. Not huge, but desperate. Perfect. Their CEO sounded skeptical on the call. So this software predicts disruption? I answered carefully. It predicts delay cascades before they become expensive. Silence. Then. That sounds expensive. I leaned back. No. Pause. Your inefficiency is expensive. Silence. Elena muted herself. I saw her shoulders shake. Laughing. Great. The CEO cleared his throat. Fair point. We signed. 30-day trial. That was all. 30 days to prove everything. 30 days to fail. 30 days to become real. No pressure. None at all. Those 30 days were brutal. Bug fixes. Server crashes. Broken data inputs. 2 sleepless nights. 1 complete panic spiral. I nearly lost it during week 2. Dashboard numbers looked wrong. Predictions were off. I stared at the monitor. No. I refreshed. Same result. No. No, no, no. Elena entered. Took one look at me. What happened? It's wrong. What's wrong? Everything. She moved closer. Specific. I pointed. Prediction variance. She studied the screen. Silence. 10 seconds. 20. Then. She said nothing. Just reached past me. Clicked one tab. Another. Then one filter. Suddenly, numbers changed. Perfect alignment. I blinked. What? She looked at me. You filtered live and historical data together. I froze. Oh. She crossed her arms. Yes. I stared at the corrected dashboard. Then laughed. Not gracefully. Half hysterical. Half relieved. I'm an idiot. Elena sat beside me. No. Pause. Just tired. I rubbed my face. I almost had a breakdown. I know. How? She raised an eyebrow. You whispered, I'm doomed 17 times. I stared. I did not. You did. Silence. Then. 17? Approximately. I covered my face. She almost smiled. Almost. Then her expression changed. Serious. Listen. I looked up. She held my gaze. Success doesn't remove fear. Pause. It teaches you to move while afraid. That stayed with me. Because fear hadn't disappeared. I just stopped obeying it. Big difference. Then day 30 arrived. Client review call. My hands were cold. Elena noticed. Nervous? No. What? She nodded. Good lie. I glared. The CEO joined. No greeting. No small talk. Just silence. Why was he silent? Why wasn't he speaking? My pulse rose. This was bad. Very bad. Then, he spoke. Slowly. I've been in this business 20 years. I braced. Okay. He continued. I've never seen efficiency gains like this. My brain stopped. What? He kept talking. Our costs dropped 18%. I stared. No. Our delays dropped 42%. Elena went still. No. No way. He exhaled. Productivity rose 31%. I stopped blinking. Then, he said the words. The ones I didn't know I needed. Miss Carter. Pause. Your system works. Something in my chest cracked open. Not painfully. Like pressure releasing. Air returning. Breath. Life. He continued. We want full implementation. My voice failed. Nothing came out. Elena kicked my shoe under the table. Art. Oh, right. Talking. Yes. Brilliant response. Very professional. He chuckled. First time. We'll send contracts. Call ended. Silence. I didn't move. Elena didn't either. 5 seconds. 10. Then. She asked quietly. Well? I opened my mouth. Closed it. Then laughed. Then cried. Not ugly crying. Not breakdown crying. Just tears. Quiet ones. The kind that come when survival finally loosens its grip. I covered my face. Oh my God. Elena didn't interrupt. Didn't comfort. Just sat there, respecting the moment. Finally I whispered, "It works." She answered simply, "Yes." I shook my head. "No. I mean, I couldn't finish. She did it for me. You built something real." That was it. That broke me. Because for years, I survived, endured, managed, scraped by. But this was creation. Not survival. Creation. I wiped my face, laughing through tears. "I need to pick up Noah." Elena almost smiled. "Go." That evening I stopped at a toy store. No budgeting calculator. No internal panic. No checking bank balance 3 times. Just. I walked through aisles slowly. Toys everywhere. Color everywhere. Joy everywhere. Strange feeling. I spotted it. Blue dinosaur. Noah's favorite. He'd asked for it months ago. I told him maybe later. Later had arrived. I bought it. Cashier smiled. "Gift." I nodded. "For my son." Walking home, the bag felt absurdly light. But emotionally? Heavy. Because this tiny toy represented something bigger. Safety. Not wealth. Safety. At home, Noah ran to the door. "Mama?" He hugged my legs. Then noticed the bag. Eyes wide. "What's that?" I crouched. "Open it." He did. Then froze. Completely froze. He looked at the dinosaur. Then at me. Then back at it. His voice came out tiny. "Mine?" I swallowed. "Yes." He didn't scream. Didn't jump. Didn't run. That's what made it worse. He just asked, "Are we okay now?" I stopped breathing. Kids notice everything. Everything. Every delayed bill. Every quiet panic. Every fake smile. He knew. Of course he knew. I pulled him close. So tight. "Yes." My voice shook. "We're okay." He relaxed in my arms. Actually relaxed. Like he'd been carrying weight too. Too much weight for 5 years old. Then he smiled. Small. Real. Worry gone. Just joy. Pure joy. And that smile. God. That smile nearly destroyed me. Not with pain. With relief. Because I finally understood something. I wasn't building revenge. Not really. I was building freedom. Revenge was only the spark. Love was the engine. That night, after Noah slept, I checked business news again. Veil Dynamics was worse. 2 more contract losses. Internal panic rumors. Executive resignations. Stock decline. Pressure mounting. And one article caught my attention. I read it twice. Then a third time. Because one line stood out. CEO Ethan Vale personally rejects all acquisition alternatives, insisting on one specific solution. One solution. My father's model. Still, after all this time, he was still trying. Still searching. Still desperate. I should have felt satisfied. Instead, a question returned. Sure. Persistent. Does he remember me? Ridiculous question. Why care? Why wonder? Yet I did. Because something about Ethan never fit cleanly. Not cruelty alone. Not indifference alone. Something hidden. Something unfinished. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. Again. I frowned. Open message. One line. That's all. But this time, my blood ran cold. He remembers you. He never forgot. And you still don't know why he fired you. I thought the invitation was a mistake. I checked the email 3 times. Then 4. Same result. You are cordially invited to the Global Innovation Summit as an emerging industry innovator. I stared. Emerging innovator? Me? The woman who once stayed late cleaning conference tables because the janitor had called in sick? I almost replied with, "Are you sure you have the right person?" Instead, I just sat there. Silent. Then my phone rang. "Elena." I answered. "This is a joke, right?" "No. That fast." "Yes. I just launched. You solved a billion-dollar problem." Pause. "People notice." I rubbed my forehead. "I'm not ready." Elena didn't hesitate. "Good." I frowned. "Good?" "Yes." Her voice stayed calm. "Confidence is overrated." I blinked. "What?" "Preparation matters more." Pause. "Go." That was Elena. No emotional speeches. No fluff. Just truth. Simple. Sure. Annoying. Usually correct. 3 days later, I stood in front of my closet. Problem. Huge problem. I owned exactly 0 summit-worthy dresses. Maya sat on my bed eating chips. Unhelpful. "Try the black one." "There is no black one." She chewed. Then by one. With what time? She grinned. With mine. 2 hours later we were shopping. I hated shopping. Maya treated it like war. Too flashy. No. Too boring. No. Too desperate. What does desperate even look like? She pointed at sequins. Fair. Eventually I found it. Simple. Elegant. Dark emerald. Clean lines. No dramatic sparkle. No trying too hard. Just sharp. Controlled. I stepped out of the fitting room. Maya froze. Then slowly stood. Oh. I narrowed my eyes. What? She stared. Then whispered. That's not revenge. What? That's destruction. I laughed. Finally. A real laugh. She smiled. There she is. I stopped. What? You. She softened. I haven't seen you laugh like that in months. That hit unexpectedly. Because she was right. I touched the dress. Maybe I wasn't becoming ice. Maybe I was becoming steel. Big difference. Summit night arrived. I almost didn't go. No one noticed. Of course he did. Kids notice everything. I was fixing my earrings when he walked in. Tiny dinosaur in hand. The blue one. He looked at me. Eyes wide. Whoa. I smiled. What? You look. He frowned. Thinking hard. Powerful. I blinked. Then laughed softly. Who taught you that word? You. When? When you told Aunt Maya bad people fear powerful women. I stared. Did I say that? Apparently. He walked closer. Touched my hand. Are you scared? Kids. Straight to the point. I crouched. A little. He considered that. Then handed me his dinosaur. I frowned. What's this? For bravery. I swallowed. Your dinosaur gives bravery? He nodded seriously. Yes. How? Magic. Reasonable. Completely reasonable. I hugged him. Tight. Thank you. He whispered in my ear. If someone is mean. Pause. Don't cry. My throat tightened. He pulled back. Roar. I laughed again. Roar? He nodded. Like this was obvious. Like dinosaur. Right. Of course. Roar. The ballroom was obscene. Crystal chandeliers. Glass walls. Live orchestra. Champagne. Power dressed as elegance. People everywhere. Expensive conversations. Expensive watches. Expensive smiles. I entered. And every old insecurity woke up. Too loud. Too fast. Too familiar. I knew these rooms. Not as a guest. As invisible labor. I used to refill water glasses here. Clear plates. Wipe spills. People talked around me. Through me. Never to me. Tonight. My name sat on the guest list. Mine. The hostess smiled. Welcome, Miss Carter. Miss Carter. Not assistant. Not staff. Not replaceable. Interesting. Very interesting. I stepped inside. Hand steady. Pulse not steady. I scanned the room. Investors. Founders. Executives. Media. Big names. Bigger egos. Then I felt it. That strange sensation. Like air shifting. Like being watched. I turned. And saw him. Ethan. Across the ballroom. Navy suit. Perfect posture. Sharp jaw. Controlled expression. Same man. Different energy. Something was off. His shoulders carried weight now. His eyes looked tired. Not sleepy. Burdened. Like someone holding up collapsing walls. Then he looked at me. Once. Dismissive. Automatic. Then. Twice. Everything stopped. His body froze. Actually froze. No movement. No blinking. Nothing. Recognition hit him. I watched it happen. Confusion. Disbelief. All in seconds. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. For one glorious second. The most controlled man I knew lost control. His glass stopped halfway to his mouth. His breathing changed. Even across the room I saw it. His eyes widened. Just slightly. But enough. He knew. He knew exactly who I was. And his entire system crashed. I almost smiled. Almost. He looked me over. Slowly. Like trying to solve impossible math. Hair. Dress. Posture. Face. Me. Not broken. Not begging. Not gone. Here. Standing in his world. No. Not his world anymore. Our world. Then he started walking. Straight toward me. Of course he did. Every step precise. Controlled. Measured. But I noticed something. His pace wasn't calm. Too fast for calm. Interesting. Very interesting. People moved aside. Without realizing. Like instinct. Power still followed him. But tonight, it felt different. Tonight he looked like a man walking toward an unanswered question. He stopped in front of me. Close. Too close. The air changed. Silence. Neither spoke. 3 seconds. 5. 10. His eyes stayed locked on mine. Then, one word. Rougher than I remembered. You. I raised an eyebrow. Excellent opening. I answered calmly. Me. Silence again. He stared. Still processing. Finally. How? I almost laughed. That was his first question? Not hello. Not apology. Not why are you here? Oh. Classic Ethan. I tilted my head. How what? How are you here? I sipped water. Slowly. Because control matters. I walked. His jaw tightened. He ignored that. His gaze sharpened. No. Pause. How did this happen? There it was. The real question. How did the woman he discarded become someone standing beside industry giants? I smiled. Small. Cold. You taught me. That hit. I saw it land. His brows drew together. What? I leaned closer. Just enough. You said excuses don't build success. Silence. His face changed. Not visibly to most people. But I saw it. Regret. Raw. Fast. Ugly. Like he wished he could grab those words back. Interesting. Very interesting. He lowered his voice. Don't? I blinked. Don't what? Use that line. His tone shifted. Something cracked underneath. I studied him. This wasn't anger. Not exactly. Then what? Pain? No. Impossible. He inhaled slowly, like regaining control. But not fully. Not this time. I've been trying to contact you. I shrugged. I noticed. You ignored me. Yes. Why? I almost laughed. Was that a real question? Really? His jaw flexed. No answer. That answered enough. I set down my glass. Why are we doing this? His eyes narrowed. This? Pretending. Pretending what? That you don't know. His stare hardened. I don't. That surprised me. Wait. What? No. No. That sounded real. Too real. He wasn't lying. I knew liars. Daniel taught me that. Ethan wasn't lying. Which made this worse. Much worse. Because confusion in his eyes was genuine. I whispered. You really don't know. He stared. What are you talking about? Before I could answer, a voice interrupted. Female. Smooth. Professional. Mr. Vale. A woman approached. Tablet in hand. Assistant. Anxious. Sorry to interrupt, but you need to take this. She handed him the tablet. He glanced down. And everything changed. Color drained from his face. Not fully. Just enough. Enough for me to notice. His composure cracked. For the first time, I saw real fear. Not business stress. Not irritation. Fear. His eyes lifted to mine. Different now. Urgent. Sure. Human. Then he said words I never expected. Not here. My pulse jumped. What? He stepped closer. Voice low. Dangerously low. If they know you're here. Pause. You're in danger. I stopped breathing. What? No. What? I stared at him. He looked dead serious. No manipulation. No performance. Just urgency. Then he said the line that shattered everything I thought I knew. The day I fired you. His voice dropped further. I was trying to save your life. I smiled when he lied to me. That scared him more than anger ever could. Because he knew I had noticed. I was trying to save your life. Ethan said it like truth. Not performance. Not manipulation. Truth. And somehow that made me angrier. I stared at him. The ballroom blurred. Music faded. Voices disappeared. Just him. Just that sentence. I folded my arms. Wow. His jaw tightened. That's not what. No, continue. I tilted my head. I'm curious. He exhaled slowly, like he was choosing every word. Dangerous. Calculated. Still Ethan. There are things you don't know. I let out a short laugh. Cool. Sure. Interesting. He went silent. I stepped closer. Close enough to see the exhaustion under his eyes. Close enough to see the tiny crack in his control. Then I asked softly, do you remember me? His stare sharpened. Of course he remembered. I saw it. So I finished the question for him. Do you remember the woman you fired for being 5 minutes late? Silence. Complete silence. He stopped breathing for a second. There. That reaction. That tiny collapse. I saw guilt surface, slowly, like something buried rising against his will. His voice came lower. Yes. No hesitation. No denial. Just yes. That surprised me. I expected deflection, excuses, corporate nonsense. Instead, honesty, raw and uncomfortable. I nodded. Good. He said nothing, so I kept going. Because I had earned this moment. You humiliated me. Silence. You fired me in front of everyone. His throat moved. Still nothing. My son had a fever. That hit hard. His expression changed. What? I stared. You didn't know? No. That answer came too fast. Too real. I narrowed my eyes. No one told you? No. He looked genuinely shaken. My anger stumbled. Just slightly. No. Focus. I crossed my arms tighter. Well, I tried. His voice dropped. What? I tried to explain. Pause. You didn't let me finish? His face went still. I continued. You looked at me and saw lateness. I swallowed. You didn't see a mother holding her burning child. His breathing changed. Again. That tiny crack. Larger now. He looked away. First time. Interesting. Very interesting. Then he said it. The excuse. Of course. Company pressure. There it was. I almost clapped. Ah. He frowned. That's not. Standards. He stopped. Discipline. Silence. Leadership. His jaw tightened. I smiled. Not warmly. Funny. He stared. Excuses sound different when powerful people say them. That landed. I saw it. Clean hit. He ran a hand through his hair. First messy movement I'd ever seen from him. Then, unexpected. I know. I blinked. What? He looked at me again. No armor this time. Just fatigue. I know. Softer. I hear it too. That threw me. I expected defense. Not surrender. Not this. He swallowed. I replay that day. Pause. More than you think. I stared. No response. He continued. I should have listened. My pulse jumped. There it was. Regret. Not polished. Not strategic. Messy. Human. Late. Painfully late. But real. And somehow, that hurt more. Because hatred is easy. Complexity isn't. I opened my mouth. A voice interrupted. Miss Carter? Event coordinator. Smiling. Professional. It's time. Right. My presentation. The room. The summit. The future. I looked at Ethan. Then back at her. I'm coming. She nodded and left. Ethan stepped forward. Urgent again. Wait. I froze. His voice lowered. Please. That word didn't belong to him. Please. From Ethan. Impossible. What? He looked like he was fighting himself. Hard. Then. After this. Pause. We need to talk. I stared. About what? The firing? The warning? The danger? His expression hardened again. But not cold. Protective. Tense. Like he was watching invisible threats. I mean it. My pulse rose. What aren't you telling me? He didn't answer. That answered everything. He still had secrets. Fine. I stepped back. You had your chance. His eyes darkened. No. Quiet. Broken almost. I didn't. I stopped moving. Something in that sentence felt wrong. Too heavy. Too personal. Before I could push, the stage lights brightened. My name appeared on screen. Elena Carter, founder, Cascade Logic. Applause. Time. I turned. No more hesitation. No more past. Not tonight. I walked to the stage. Didn't look back. Even though I felt his eyes on me. Every step. The microphone felt colder than expected. Funny what details the brain notices under pressure. I looked out. Hundreds of faces. Investors. Executives. Media. People who once would never have known my name. I inhaled. Steady. Then began. 2 years ago. Silence fell. Good. I lost my job over 5 minutes. Movement in the audience. Interest. Curiosity. Good. I learned something that day. Pause. I scanned the room. Slowly. Found Ethan. Still watching. Unmoving. I continued. Systems fail when they stop seeing people. Silence deepened. Supply chains fail for the same reason. Click. Slide change. Graphs appeared. Data. Flow models. Cost structures. Delay patterns. My father's work. My work. Our work. I spoke. And something strange happened. The fear disappeared. Not gradually, instantly. Because this was mine. Every failure, every sleepless night, every rejection, every sacrifice, every moment led here. I wasn't pretending. I belonged. Questions came. Fast, sure, aggressive, good. I answered all of them. One investor interrupted. Your model seems too efficient. I smiled. That's usually called innovation. Laughter. The room shifted. Another executive asked, what about scaling? I answered without hesitation. Third question. Fourth. Fifth. Then silence. No more objections. Only interest. Real interest. Then applause. It started from one side, then spread. Louder. Bigger. Stronger. The ballroom erupted. People stood. Actually stood. Standing ovation. For me. I froze. No. No way. This wasn't real. I looked toward the front. Elena stood first. Clapping. Calm as always, but proud. Maya beside her was crying openly. Of course. Then I looked elsewhere and saw Ethan. Still standing. Still watching me. But something in his face changed. No corporate mask. No CEO composure. Just emotion. Raw. Unfiltered. And then I saw it. Not admiration. Not shock. Regret. Real regret. Not because he lost talent. No. I knew the difference. This was personal. This was heavier. This was a man finally understanding the damage he caused. And hating himself for it. Applause continued. People approached immediately. Business cards. Offers. Partnerships. Funding proposals. Numbers bigger than anything I imagined. Voices everywhere. Brilliant. Incredible. We should talk. I want in. Call me tomorrow. I barely processed half of it. Then, a hand touched my elbow. I turned. Ethan. Again. But different now. Less control. More urgency. He handed me something. A photograph. One. Shaking fingers. I looked down, and my world stopped. The photo showed my father. Younger. Smiling. Standing beside Ethan. No. No. Impossible. I looked up sharply. My voice barely came out. How do you have this? Ethan's face had gone pale. His voice cracked for the first time. Actually cracked. Because whatever came next, it hurt him too. I knew your father. My blood ran cold. No. No, no, no. He continued. Eyes locked on mine. And then he destroyed everything I believed. He didn't just work with me. Pause. His voice dropped to a whisper. He died because of me. I almost walked away. I should have. But something in his face stopped me. Not guilt. Not power. Something worse. Shame. Raw. Unprotected. He stood near the balcony doors, still holding that old photograph. My father. And him. Together. I folded my arms. Talk. The ballroom noise faded behind the glass doors as we stepped outside. Cold air hit my skin. Good. I needed something sharp. Something real. Because nothing about tonight felt real anymore. I turned to him. You have exactly one chance. He nodded. No argument. No arrogance. Just a quiet. I know. I hated that I believed him. I pointed at the photo. Start there. His fingers tightened around it. He worked with me 8 years ago. My pulse jumped. 8 years. That was before my father died. Before everything collapsed. He was brilliant, Ethan said. The words came slowly. Carefully. Too brilliant. I frowned. What does that mean? He gave a humorless laugh. It means I was too arrogant to listen. Silence. Then. He warned me. I stared. About what? His jaw flexed. A structural failure in one of our major logistics systems. Pause. He said if we scaled without redesigning the routing architecture. His voice lowered. People could get hurt. My stomach tightened. No, no. I already knew where this was going. I just didn't want to hear it. What happened? His eyes lifted to mine. Pain. Real pain. I ignored him. The words landed heavy. No excuses. No corporate language. Just truth. He pushed harder. Ethan swallowed. We fought. I didn't move. He continued. I thought he was challenging my authority. Pause. I thought he was making me look weak in front of investors. I closed my eyes briefly. God. My father. Of course he fought. He always did when something mattered. He never knew how to stay quiet. Ethan's voice roughened. So I shut him down. I opened my eyes. How? He laughed once. Broken. Same way I shut everyone down back then. That sentence hit harder than he realized. Because I knew exactly what he meant. Cold. Fast. Merciless. No room for explanation. No room for humanity. Just control. He looked away. 3 weeks later, the failure happened. My breathing slowed. Too slow. Dangerously slow. How bad? He answered instantly. Bad enough. Pause. Warehouse collapse. My blood ran cold. No, no, no. I whispered. My father? Ethan closed his eyes. He was inside. Silence. No music. No voices. Nothing. Just those words. I stopped feeling my hands. I stopped feeling the cold. Everything narrowed. Tunnel vision. I heard myself ask, did he die there? Ethan shook his head. No. I breathed. Then he destroyed that relief. He died saving 6 workers. I froze. My father. Of course he did. Because even at the end, he chose people. Not himself. My chest tightened. Not grief. Not yet. Something heavier. Something older. Ethan's voice cracked. He saw the failure beginning. Pause. He ran inside before anyone could stop him. I stared at the floor. I could see it. Too clearly. Dad running. Ignoring danger. Saving others. Like always. Ethan whispered. He kept yelling evacuation routes. His voice broke. He saved everyone he could. Silence. Then, the final beam collapsed. My knees nearly gave out. I grabbed the railing. Hard. Metal bit into my palm. Good. Pain helped. Pain focused. Ethan stepped forward. Stopped. Didn't touch me. Good choice. Very good choice. Then he said something I wasn't ready for. He blamed me before he died. I looked up sharply. What? Tears stood in his eyes now. Unhidden. Unstopped. He looked right at me. Paused. And said. Ethan covered his mouth. Couldn't speak. No. Not couldn't. Wouldn't. Because saying it made it real. I whispered. What did he say? His eyes filled. Completely. Then he forced the words out. Be better than this. My vision blurred. That sounded exactly like him. Not hate. Not revenge. Just disappointment. Just hope. Even dying. He asked for growth. Not punishment. I hated how much that sounded like him. I hated it. Because it made this harder. I swallowed. So you fired me because, what? His expression shifted instantly. Urgent. No hesitation. Because someone found you. I froze. What? He stepped closer. 3 years ago, an internal audit reopened the collapse case. My pulse rose. What does that have to do with me? His voice dropped. Evidence surfaced. Pause. Someone manipulated system warnings. I stared. No. That wasn't an accident? No. He continued. There were investors involved. My skin went cold. They lost millions because your father delayed expansion. Silence. Then. They wanted the remaining patent rights. My breath stopped. The patents. My father's file. The model. Everything connected. Oh God. No. Ethan saw realization hit me. Yes. He nodded. They searched for you. I whispered. Why? His answer came instantly. Because you inherited everything. I stopped breathing. No. No, no, no. That's why. That's why he panicked. That's why he said danger. My mind raced. The anonymous message. He remembers you. He never forgot. I looked at Ethan. Who sent that message? His silence answered. He knew. Or suspected. But couldn't say. Not yet. Then. My anger returned. Sure. Violent. I looked straight at him. Fine. His jaw tightened. You were protecting me? Yes. By destroying me? Pain crossed his face. Yes. I laughed. But it didn't sound like me. Just disbelief. That's insane. I know. You ruined my life. His voice cracked. I know. No. I stepped closer. No fear now. Only truth. You don't. He flinched. Good. Finally. I pointed at my chest. You know business damage. Pause. You don't know what you did to me. He stopped moving. Stopped breathing. Good. Listen. Really listen. So I told him. Everything. No filter. No mercy. My son had a fever that day. His eyes shut. I had hospital calls I couldn't pay. His shoulders dropped. I skipped meals so he could eat. He covered his mouth. I got eviction warnings. Silence. My husband left. His eyes snapped open. What? Took everything. I swallowed. All savings. Pause. Another woman. He looked sick. Actually sick. Good. No. Not good. Just honest. I kept going. Because he needed all of it. The weight. The consequence. I had panic attacks after you fired me. His breathing became uneven. I couldn't sleep. Pause. I stopped answering calls because I was ashamed. He shook his head once. Like rejecting reality. Too late. I wasn't done. Then I said the one thing I never told anyone. Not Maya. Not Elena. No one. Because saying it out loud made it unbearable. Until now. I whispered. That night. My voice nearly failed. I forced it through. My son asked me something. Ethan lowered his hand slowly. Eyes locked on mine. I said it. Every word. Clear. Sure. Merciless. My son asked me. Pause. If rich people hate poor mothers. Silence. Complete. Absolute. Ethan broke. Not dramatically. Not loudly. Worse. His hand flew over his mouth. His body folded slightly. Like something punched straight through him. His eyes filled instantly. Tears. Real tears. He shook once. Then again. No words. None. The man who controlled everything. Lost control. Finally. One tear fell. Then another. He whispered something so quietly I almost missed it. No. Like he was begging reality to rewrite itself. But reality doesn't care. I watched him break. And for the first time, revenge didn't feel satisfying. It felt tragic. Because this man, this impossible, frustrating, broken man, understood now. Completely. Too late. Painfully late. Then his phone rang. Once. Twice. 3 times. He ignored it. Then a message flashed on screen. I saw only one line. But one line was enough. My blood ran cold. We found the boy. For the first time he looked afraid of losing me. Not his company. Not his reputation. Me. His phone was still in his hand. The screen glowed between us. We found the boy. Every muscle in my body locked. My voice came out sharp. What does that mean? Ethan's face drained of color. Not pale. Empty. Like blood had vanished from him. He looked from the phone to me. Then back. His thumb trembled over the screen. I grabbed his wrist. Art. Ethan. He flinched. Not from pain. From hearing his name in my voice. Talk. His throat moved. That message. Pause. Wasn't from my team. Ice ran through me. Then whose? Silence. I hated silence. Especially now. I tightened my grip. Say it. He exhaled like it hurt. The investors. I let go. What investors? The ones behind the collapse. My stomach dropped. No, no, no. I stepped back. They know about my son? He nodded once. That was enough. The world tilted. Everything blurred at the edges. Not from tears. From terror. Pure. Animal. Maternal. I pulled out my phone so fast I almost dropped it. 3 missed calls. 1 message from Maya. Call me now. I called instantly. Ring. 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 She picked up. Finally. My voice shook. Maya, where's Noah? Silence. Too much silence. Then. He's okay. I nearly collapsed. Nearly. Okay wasn't enough. Where is he? At my place. My knees weakened. I grabbed the railing. Why is he there? Her breathing sounded rushed. Someone came to your apartment. Every word sharpened. What? A man. Pause. He asked the landlord about Noah. My skin turned cold. What did he want? I don't know. Her voice cracked. But something felt wrong. I couldn't breathe. So I picked Noah up from daycare early. Thank God. Thank God. Thank God. My eyes shut. For 1 second, relief hit so hard it almost hurt. Then rage replaced it. I opened my eyes. Straight at Ethan. Don't let him leave. Maya understood instantly. I won't. I'm coming. Hurry. Call ended. Silence. Deadly silence. I looked at Ethan. He didn't defend himself. Didn't interrupt. Good. Because if he had, I might have slapped him. I walked toward him slowly. Each step deliberate. Controlled. Too controlled. That scared him more. I stopped inches away. This is your world. His jaw tightened. Yes. These are your people. No. His voice broke. They were never my people. I laughed once. Short. Ugly. That's convenient. He accepted that. No argument. Then, something changed in him. He straightened. Not cold. Not dominant. Resolved. He locked his phone. Looked me dead in the eyes. Listen to me. I folded my arms. No trust. Zero. He continued anyway. When I grew up. He stopped. Restarted. My mother worked 3 jobs. That surprised me. I said nothing. He kept going. She cleaned hotel rooms during the day. Pause. Waitressed at night. Another pause. Did laundry for neighbors before sunrise. His voice lost its polished edge. It sounded human now. Rough. One. She slept 4 hours on good days. Something tightened in my chest. Against my will. He swallowed. She had this cough. A faint laugh. She kept saying it was allergies. His eyes lowered. It wasn't. I already knew. I hated that I knew. She collapsed when I was 16. Silence. Hospital? I asked quietly. He nodded. No insurance. Of course. She died 6 months later. No dramatic pause. No tears. Just fact. That somehow hurt more. I stared. This man. This ruthless man. Had once been a poor boy watching his mother work herself to death. I saw it now. The obsession. The control. The hunger. He wasn't born cold. He built armor. Layer by layer. He continued. I made myself a promise. His eyes lifted. I would never be powerless again. I whispered. So you became cruel. He didn't deny it. That mattered. Yes. One word. Brutal. Honest. Yes. He inhaled. At first, ruthlessness felt necessary. Pause. Then profitable. Pause. Then normal. His jaw tightened. And somewhere along the way, his voice cracked slightly. People became numbers. That landed hard. Because it was true. Not just about me. About everyone. Metrics. Performance. Efficiency. No stories. No context. No humanity. Just output. Then he said it. The truth. The ugliest truth. I stopped seeing mothers. Silence. I stopped seeing fear. His eyes glistened. I stopped seeing people. He looked at me like confession was punishment. I only saw results. I didn't speak. Because what was there to say? He already knew. Then, he stepped closer. Careful. As if approaching something wounded. After I fired you. Pause. I forgot your face. That stung. He saw it. Flinched. But not the feeling. I frowned. What feeling? His answer came instantly. Wrong. I froze. He continued. You were one of our highest performers. I blinked. What? He nodded. 3 weeks after firing you, HR reviewed your file. His voice roughened. Perfect attendance for 2 years. Pause. Best logistics correction rate in your department. My breath caught. What? No. He continued. 1 late arrival. Silence. 1. He looked wrecked. I fired my most reliable employee over 5 minutes. I didn't know what to do with that. Anger? Validation? Bitterness? All of it. None of it. He laughed bitterly. I wanted to call you. Pause. Many times. I narrowed my eyes. Why didn't you? He answered instantly. Because he had asked himself this 1,000 times. Pride. Simple. Ugly. Honest. I told myself reaching out would look weak. Pause. Then more time passed. His eyes darkened. Then shame took over. That felt real. Too real. Because shame grows in silence. I knew that. Better than anyone. He rubbed his face. I kept thinking. He stopped. I waited. He forced it out. Maybe she moved on. Pause. Maybe she forgot. He gave a broken smile. Maybe she hates me. I finally spoke. I did. No hesitation. Truth. His expression tightened. I continued. For a long time. Pause. I imagined ruining you. Another pause. I imagined watching everything burn. He accepted that too. No defense. No, I understand. Just listening. Good. That was what he owed me. Listening. Then I said the truth I hadn't admitted even to myself. But I don't hate you now. His head lifted. So, hope, fear. All at once. I hated that hope in his eyes. Because hope is dangerous. I continued before he misunderstood. That doesn't mean you're forgiven. Hope dimmed. Good. Then what does it mean? I looked past him. City lights blurred beyond the glass. I thought about Noah. My father. My old apartment. My old self. The woman crying on that bench. And the woman standing here now. Different people. Same soul. I answered slowly. It means hatred expired. His breathing stopped. I continued. What's left is heavier. Heavier. I met his eyes. Truth. Silence. I stepped closer. One final distance between us. Closure is close, Ethan. His name hit him hard. I saw it. But I wasn't done. Close. Pause. But not free. He whispered. What do you want from me? I looked straight into him. No fear. No shaking. No begging. Just clarity. Then my phone buzzed again. Maya. I answered. Fast. What happened? Her voice came sharp. Urgent. You need to get here. Ice returned. Why? Silence. 1 second. 2. Then. Noah just asked if he knows that man. My blood froze. What man? Maya whispered. The one in the old photograph. I thought he came back to fix everything. I was wrong. He came back to change everything. The next morning my phone would not stop vibrating. Messages. Emails. Missed calls. News alerts. Even Maya looked overwhelmed. She stood in my kitchen holding coffee and my tablet. You need to see this. I rubbed my tired eyes. I had barely slept after last night. Noah was still asleep in the next room, curled around his dinosaur toy like nothing in the world could touch him. I envied that. I took the tablet. My breath caught. Breaking news. Ethan Reed calls emergency press conference. I frowned. What is he doing? Maya shook her head. No idea. She paused. But whatever it is, it's huge. I opened the live stream. Reporters crowded the room. Cameras flashed. Microphones everywhere. Then Ethan walked onto the stage. No expensive smile. No polished CEO charm. No armor. Just him. Tired. Serious. Human. The room went silent. He adjusted the microphone. For a second he said nothing. Then, before we begin. His voice was calm. Too calm. I need to publicly admit something. Reporters straightened. The room shifted. Curiosity. Tension. Anticipation. Ethan continued. Years ago I made a decision that harmed someone. I stopped breathing. No. He wouldn't. Would he? I believed discipline mattered more than context. My fingers tightened around the tablet. Maya slowly sat down. Neither of us spoke. I fired an employee for being 5 minutes late. Gasp. Whispers. Phones lifted. Live comments exploded. Ethan didn't stop. She tried to explain. Pause. I refused to listen. My throat tightened. His voice remained steady. But I saw it. His hand. Shaking slightly. She was not lazy. Pause. She was not careless. Another pause. She was a mother trying to keep her child alive. Silence. Total silence. Even through the screen I felt it. The weight. The shame. The truth. Ethan looked directly into the cameras. I failed her. No corporate language. No legal distancing. Just truth. Raw truth. Then, he said my name. Full name. Clear. Public. And suddenly the entire world knew. Maya covered her mouth. Oh my God. I couldn't move. Couldn't blink. Ethan continued. She survived something I helped create. Pause. She not only survived. A small broken smile. She built something extraordinary. My chest tightened. No. This wasn't just apology. This was something else. Then the giant screen behind him lit up. My company logo. Gasps erupted. Reporters nearly shouted over each other. I stared. No. No way. Ethan spoke over the chaos. As of today, Reed Logistics is formally requesting a strategic partnership with her company. The room exploded. Questions. Noise. Disbelief. One reporter shouted. Acquisition. Ethan answered instantly. No. Another shouted. Majority stake? No. Merger? No. He looked straight into the camera. Equal partnership. Silence. Then louder chaos. My former company. His empire. And me. Equal. Maya whispered. He's insane. I almost laughed. Almost. But Ethan wasn't finished. Not even close. He raised a hand. The room quieted. There is more. His voice changed. Softer. Heavier. This partnership will only happen if new employee protections become mandatory in every branch. I blinked. What? He read from a document. Immediate child care assistance. Pause. Emergency family leave. Pause. Flexible crisis scheduling. Pause. Protected parent accommodations. Each line hit harder. He continued. No parent should fear losing survival because their child gets sick. My eyes burned. No, not from sadness. Something else. Something I wasn't ready to name. A reporter raised a hand. Why now? Good question. Everyone waited. Ethan didn't hesitate. Because success built without empathy becomes cruelty. The room fell silent again. I stopped breathing. He continued. Efficiency matters. Pause. Performance matters. Another pause. But if a system punishes humanity... His jaw tightened. The system is broken. Maya looked at me. I stared at the screen, unable to look away. Then a reporter asked the question everyone wanted. Is this about guilt? Ethan didn't even think. Yes. The honesty stunned everyone, including me. Yes, he repeated. I feel guilt. Pause. I should. Another reporter jumped in. Are you doing this to repair your public image? Ethan's eyes hardened. Not angry. Certain. If this were about image, I would stay silent. Good answer. Too good. No. Not polished. True. He continued. This isn't about redemption. Pause. It's about responsibility. That hit me harder than the apology. Because redemption centers the guilty. Responsibility centers the harmed. He finally understood. Then, his assistant approached the stage. Whispered something. Ethan nodded. Then looked directly into the camera again. At me. It felt like he could see through the screen. Straight into my kitchen. Straight into me. Then he said it. The personal request. Not to the media. To me. If you're watching. Silence. My pulse jumped. No. No, don't do this publicly. Too late. His voice softened. I am asking for something I do not deserve. The room went still. No one moved. No one interrupted. He continued. I'm asking for the chance to build something better beside you. My breathing became uneven. No, no, not like this. Not in front of everyone. Not with those eyes. He swallowed. I don't expect forgiveness. Pause. I don't expect trust. Another pause. I don't expect kindness. His voice nearly cracked. But I am asking for one thing. Silence. Complete silence. Then, let me help turn your pain into protection for others. I stopped moving. Every sound faded. Kitchen. Phones. Traffic outside. Everything. Gone. Just those words. Because suddenly, this wasn't revenge anymore. It wasn't even about us. It was bigger. So much bigger. I thought about every mother running late. Every father choosing between work and hospital. Every parent terrified of one emergency. I thought about my old coworkers. The janitors. Receptionists. Drivers. People living paycheck to paycheck. People one crisis away from collapse. And I realized something terrifying. I had power now. Real power. Not revenge power. Change power. The kind my father wanted. The kind that protects. The kind that matters. My phone exploded with messages. Investors. Journalists. Former coworkers. Unknown numbers. One message stood out. HR director. Former company. I'm sorry. We all failed you. Another. A coworker. You gave us hope. Another. Unknown number. My daughter is sick. Because of you, maybe I won't lose my job one day. Thank you. I covered my mouth. No, no. This was too much. Too fast. Maya touched my shoulder. Hey. I looked at her. Her eyes were wet. You okay? I laughed. But it shook. I don't know. She squeezed my hand. You don't need to decide right now. But I did. Because the media storm was growing. Because Ethan had made this public. Because the whole industry was waiting. Waiting for my answer. Partner? Reject? Forgive? Destroy? Everything rested on me. And somehow, that scared me more than being powerless ever had. Power carries weight. Heavy weight. Then Noah walked into the kitchen. Sleepy. Hair messy. Holding his dinosaur. Mama? I turned instantly. Softened instantly. Yes, baby? He rubbed his eyes. Why are people yelling from your tablet? Maya almost laughed through tears. I knelt. Opened my arms. He walked into them. Safe. Warm. Mine. I held him tightly. He looked at the screen. At Ethan. Then at me. And asked the question that stopped time. Simple. Innocent. Brutal. Mama? Pause. Is that the man Grandpa wanted you to forgive? I pressed send before I could stop myself. One message. To Ethan. I'll come. But on my terms. 3 dots appeared. Then disappeared. Then one reply. Always. I stared at that word longer than I should have. Always. Funny. Once he gave me 5 minutes. Now he was offering forever. Life had strange ways of balancing things. By afternoon, cameras were everywhere. The press conference had grown bigger than anyone expected. Not just business media. Everyone. Parent groups. Workers' unions. Mothers holding babies. Fathers in uniforms. Nurses. Teachers. Delivery drivers. People who knew what one emergency could cost. And somehow, my story had become their story. I stood backstage, palms cold. Maya adjusted my blazer. You nervous? I gave a shaky laugh. I feel like I might throw up. She smiled. That means it matters. Fair. I looked toward the stage. Through the curtain, I could see Ethan waiting. Still. Quiet. No pressure. No signal. He didn't try to control this moment. Good. Because this wasn't his anymore. This was mine. A staff member approached. They're ready for you. My heartbeat slowed. Not faster. Slower. Strangely calm. Like something inside me had settled. Maya squeezed my hand. Whatever you choose. Pause. Choose for yourself. I nodded. Then walked forward. Lights hit instantly. Cameras flashed. Voices rose. Questions everywhere. But I only saw one thing. The stage. And him. Ethan turned as I walked out. For 1 second. He looked terrified. Not of rejection. Not of headlines. Of hurting me again. That mattered. I stepped beside him. Microphone waiting. World waiting. I looked at the crowd. Then I began. My name is Elena Carter. Silence spread. I was fired for being 5 minutes late. No dramatic delivery. Just truth. Raw truth. I spent a long time believing those 5 minutes defined me. Pause. That maybe I failed. I scanned the audience. Faces everywhere. Listening. Really listening. I continued. I thought being late meant I was irresponsible. Pause. I thought struggling meant I was weak. Another pause. I thought asking for grace made me less worthy. My throat tightened. But I didn't stop. Not now. Then I said the words I wish someone had said to me years ago. Clear. Steady. Powerful. Being late once does not define your worth. Silence. Heavy silence. I continued. Struggling does not make you weak. Pause. Motherhood is not failure. I saw tears in the crowd. A woman in scrubs covered her mouth. A man lowered his head. I kept going. Survival is strength. That landed. I felt it. In the room. In me. Then something shifted. No fear. No trembling. Only truth. I turned toward Ethan. The cameras followed instantly. Good. Let them watch. I looked straight at him. And spoke. You hurt me. His jaw tightened. He nodded once. No denial. Good. I continued. You didn't just fire an employee. Pause. You crushed someone already drowning. His eyes lowered. I took a breath. But. He looked up. The whole room waited. I continued. I also saw something these past few days. Silence. Regret. Pause. Real regret. Another pause. Messy. Like. Human. His eyes glistened. I saw him fighting emotion again. No mask left. Good. I stepped closer. Not intimate. Not romantic. Just honest. Forgiveness is strange. I said softly. People think forgiveness means pretending nothing happened. I shook my head. No. I turned back to the audience. Forgiveness does not erase consequences. Silence. It does not rewrite damage. Pause. It does not undo pain. Then the truth. The real truth. It simply frees you from carrying the wound forever. I felt something release inside me as I said it. Not dramatic. Not explosive. Quiet. Like setting down something heavy after carrying it for years. I looked at Ethan again. And said it. The words he never expected. I forgive you. The room stopped breathing. Even cameras seemed still. Ethan froze. Actually froze. Like his body forgot movement. His lips parted. No sound came out. I continued before emotion swallowed him. I forgive you. Pause. But never confuse forgiveness with permission. His eyes sharpened. Listening. Good. You do not get to hurt people and expect grace. Pause. You earn trust. Another pause. You protect it. I let the words sit. Then. My final decision. The one everyone came for. I lifted the partnership contract. The room exploded in flashes. I spoke over them. I accept the partnership. Gasp. Cheers. Suck. Noise everywhere. I raised my hand. Silence returned. But only under binding conditions. The lawyer straightened instantly. Good. I read each condition. Mandatory emergency leave. Pause. Protected childcare flexibility. Pause. Independent Worker Advocacy Board. Pause. Zero retaliation family policy. Pause. Annual leadership empathy training. A reporter actually whispered, "Wow." I almost smiled. Almost. Then I lowered the papers. If empathy is optional. Pause. Humanity becomes negotiable. Silence. That line hit hard. Good. Because it was true. I signed. Then handed the pen to Ethan. He looked at it. Then at me. His voice came low. Barely audible. "Thank you." I shook my head. "This isn't for you." His expression softened. "I know." That answer mattered. He signed. The room erupted. Standing ovation. Questions. Applause. Noise. But inside me. Quiet. Beautiful quiet. No revenge high. No victory scream. Just peace. Real peace. Hours later I finally returned home. New home. Bigger. Warmer. Safer. No mold. No leaking ceiling. No unpaid notices taped to doors. Home. Noah was already in bed. Half asleep. I sat beside him. He opened one eye. "Mama?" I brushed his hair back. "Yes." He looked around his room. At the night lamp. The books. The dinosaur sheets. Then back at me. Tiny voice. "Are we safe now?" My breath caught. That question. Not childish. Not simple. Heavy. Because children know. They always know. Even when adults think they don't. I leaned down. Kissed his forehead. And answered. Yes. One word. No hesitation. No pretending. Truth. "Yes, baby." He relaxed instantly. Like his body believed me before his mind did. That broke me in the gentlest way. He whispered. "Good." Pause. "I like safe." I laughed softly. Tears finally slipping free. "So do I." His eyes drifted closed. Then opened again. "One more question." "Always one more." "Mama?" "Yes." "Are you still the sad lady from before?" I froze. Not from pain. From the honesty only children carry. I smiled. Small. Real. "No." He blinked slowly. "Who are you now?" I looked around the room. At our life. At our future. At the woman I became. Then I answered. "I'm the woman who doesn't shrink anymore." He smiled sleepily. Cool. 5 seconds later. Sleep. I sat there in silence. Listening to his breathing. Steady. Safe. Alive. I thought about that bench outside the office. That broken woman holding a cardboard box. She thought everything ended in 5 minutes. She was wrong. Everything began there. Pain broke me. Truth rebuilt me. And power? Power came when I stopped begging for dignity. I stood. Turned off the lamp. Paused at the door. Then my phone buzzed. One message. From Ethan. Just one line. No pressure. No demand. No expectations. "I'm trying to be better than this." I stared at the screen. Then smiled. Because I recognized the words. My father's words. His final words. I typed back. 3 words. Simple. Final. Powerful. "Never again, Ethan."